Welcome back to another episode of the Motivating Force podcast. I am host Sway, and joining me as always is Justin. Remember guys, if you have not checked it out already, Anchor.fm is the new platform that we've been putting out all of our videos and audio only episodes out for you guys to listen to, as opposed to just YouTube. This puts it out onto Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, etc., etc., etc. So feel free, check that out, so you can, multitask, clean the house, and listen to us, or whatever it is that you feel like doing while listening to us. Our social medias are down in the descriptions below. You can always, more than welcome to check those out, DM us. We're always open to any opinions, thoughts, suggestions. If you want to reach out to us directly and tell us some episode ideas that you want to hear our opinions on, go right ahead. Like I said, the link to those social media sites are down in the description below. Now, starting off the episode about patience, right? Not the kind of patience that you see at a hospital, but patience from waiting forces. Good things come to those who wait. Quote that everybody should be familiar with. And it's by Violet Fane. That is a pseudonym for a name that I cannot pronounce, so go ahead and look that up, guys. Fun fact that the poem that she wrote, that this is from, the quote is from, is actually French for good things come to those who wait. It's the name of the poem itself, just translated into English.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I did not know that. And I'm a guy that loves poetry.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, damn. That's right. I forgot about that. I just pulled this out of my hoo-ha.
Yeah, well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good hoo-ha.
Well, like I said, anyway, you can Google it later because I cannot pronounce her name for the life of me. But anyway, patience is a virtue, sucker. And today we're going to talk about holding your darn horses. A lot of places, especially in the United States, when they tend to be a highly populated area, city or town, examples being, of course, New York City, Los Angeles, Orlando even, people are always attracted to the go, go, go mentality, right? You go outside and people want things now. They don't want to wait. You're in traffic, people are flying through the emergency lane because they can't wait 2 exits of traffic to then leave. They're willing to risk a ticket. They're willing to risk it all.
They're willing to risk other people's lives.
There you go.
Honestly.
Because they can't wait. Because they're used to go, go, go. Because they woke up late and now it's everybody else's fault that they're not making it to work.
Amen, brother.
But keeping this kind of exaggerated lifestyle of being so go and no patience, keeping that so normal creates different forms of toxicity that we will only see, as Justin's mentioned in the previous episode, increase more and more generations to come. More generations to come will be so ingrained into this kind of mentality that it will only be more and more toxic, more and more extreme, and it will only ruin society as we know it.
Yeah, I mean, that is 100% my standpoint. 2 very first things to mention with patience. The one saying I know about patience is...
Wait for it.
Wait for it? No. That's not it. No, okay, for real though, right? The one thing that I did learn about patience was if you want a lot of it, pray for patience. And that is why I will never pray for patience. Because you will get so much of it, right?
So much of it, or you'll get so mad because you're not getting any.
And that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem, right? So that's the whole thing with that. No, but I do like what you're saying here with it getting worse and worse every generation. And I think the way it's being ingrained is something that doesn't have to do with the way that kids are raised.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has to do with the advancements of society, down to really the simple stuff. You go back thousands of years, and you had to wait patiently in that bush for those deers to go by, just to get maybe a week's worth of food, and you have to wait hours in a bush doing absolutely nothing because you have to be still for the deer to come by.
I mean, listen, some people still do that today.
They do.
By choice, I would like to, be invited by somebody who does that frequently, but people do that.
You get where I'm going with
I
that,
do see where you're going, and I do have a tie around to that, but go ahead. Keep on going. I'll wait patiently.
Okay, very good. I'm just saying, like, from that evolutionary standpoint with society, the more comfortable things get, the less danger that's really honestly out there for us. The easier it is for us to become impatient because we're now getting to the point where there's not really a whole lot out there that's going to kill us. So what's the point in taking your time? Let's go grab life by the balls and get after it, right? Yeah. So there's that mix up with it, and I understand where this is going to be a great topic.
It's almost similar to being entitled, right? You're entitled to want things so quickly because I mentioned New York, LA, and Orlando because it's highly populated, right? I'm going to go into the different areas, why I specifically chose those. I feel like when you do grow up or are raised in that kind of highly congested atmosphere, you are like expecting for a product very quick, or like a quick turnaround time. And then if you don't get it, you then go, what's the problem? What's the holdup? What's taking so long? There's not a tiger around the corner trying to kill you. There's not somebody trying to rob the place. What's going on here? But then that turns into disrespect, which then is a callback to Monday's episode.
Well, I definitely see the point with that because, in my line of work, it's definitely not something as easy as making a cheeseburger, right? Which is something I have straight up told people before when they're being super impatient about their car being ready. Yeah. Because they're like, well, the labor time's only an hour. Why is it taking 2? I'm like, well, the labor time being only an hour means I'm only charging you an hour. So the longer it takes me to do it, the more grateful you should be because I'm not charging you a penny more, And it's one of those things where it's like there's no go around for it. If I pull your engine out of the car, nothing is magically going to get that back in there any faster than the reality of how long it's going to take. Yeah. No amount of Karening up the place is going to help you with that.
I love how Karening is now like a...
You like how I verbed that?
Yeah.
But you get it, right? There's nothing you can do that's going to make it magically back in your car and your car running, right? Whereas we have these little turnarounds for these other things that we do in our life all the time to kind of get by with things and get things quicker and get compensated for things taking too long. And it's, I can definitely understand this because I deal with impatient people every day at work.
Well, no, it's great. And this is where it comes around to why I was talking about like highly congested areas. And I specifically wrote up this little section. Hopefully it could click with some people. Hopefully some people are used to this kind of analogy or this category, I should say, genre. But what do I mean by this? Do I mean how I can't wait in line at a Chipotle or a dang ice cream shop? Maybe, but I'm not. I'm working on that. I'm not talking about that, though. What I am talking about is imagine a couple of teenagers who live in the center of LA their entire lives, right? So all they know is traffic. All they know is just bumper to bumper, people everywhere. Go into a store, there's a line. Everything has to be quick or else you're there all day. Let's say they take, a road trip during college. They go to a rural town in the Midwest, right? They're all going to seem rude and spoiled to the people that live there because they're used to this go, go, go mentality, all from a lack of patience and, like I said, being used to that go, go, go. I mean, look at any teen slasher movie. Snarky, spoiled kids go into the middle of nowhere and get hacked and slashed because they had no patience. I'm kidding, but you get the point. It's very common in Hollywood that they kind of portray that. Why? It makes the kids seem dumb. It makes the kids seem just dumb. Like you lack the patience. You're disrespectful. You're snarky. And it's all just because you couldn't wait. You couldn't respect the person that you're coming into, their land, their town, their environment, their atmosphere that they're used to having. And then you're bringing the mentality of LA to that.
Well, I mean, isn't that the life lesson, though? Is like, if you're coming from LA and you go to
royalty,
and you go to a
rural, I'm surprised I can say it.
Okay, yeah, because I can't. So you're from LA and you go to one of these smaller places and you're going to be so impatient like that. The moral of the story is somebody's going to end up slashing you. Is that what I'm getting at here?
You're right.
Okay.
Whether it's a guy that, has a chainsaw and wears other people's faces over their heads, somebody's going to get mad enough to do a little slashing. But point of it also being the generations to come will just be born into this lifestyle. And, the bigger and bigger that these cities, towns, states even get, the more polluted into the generations to come their lifestyle, their childhood is going to be so ingrained with go, 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 and having no patience that they're not going to understand what that means. And speaking of not knowing what that means, let me hit you with the definition real quick. The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. Angry or upset.
Key element there.
Yeah. Because it's one thing to, I do, get very anxious, or what is it, antsy.
You have a very
it's almost like a subtle, but it's like a vibe that gets pushed out.
Well, I would say that you have a good amount of patience that is not packaged in grace one bit. Because you do keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
But
leaks.
it's very
sometimes.
It's very apparent when your patience has run out. But you're never that guy to people. Yeah. You can just see it in you. Yeah. That's all it is. So it's not very graceful, but the patience is there. It's a work in progress.
I appreciate that, because my girlfriend would say something completely the opposite. But that was great. But if we start focus on being patient, and yes, Josue, even just by being able to stand in line at a Chipotle, pat myself on the shoulder on that one, we can start bettering not only ourselves, but the generations to come. Like I was talking about, how they can be affected by the toxicity of go, go, go. If we start just focusing on being patient, like I said, I've been working on it, guys. I've been talking about it for weeks now. I can work on that. I can not only just help myself, but the people like Justin or Justin's kid that will grow up to see how I act in that situation, and they'll learn, and they might even ask, "Hey, mister, why are you not screaming at the guy?" And I'll be like, "Because I'm patient, little boy." Because that's something you need to learn.
I hope that's a dream you carry with you into the future.
Yeah.
But, no, I like it, because, what I'm getting at this point here is, with that patience, and when it comes to that societal standpoint, it's going to help a lot. But with that being ingrained with that go, 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 there are things in life that require patience. They require time, effort, and energy. And just about every single element of your life that's going to bring any amount of success into your life requires that time, effort, energy, and patience. So if you're already being ingrained without that kind of thing, it's going to be very hard for you to, say, follow a workout regimen.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to see results. And it takes a lot of work to get those very tiny results in the start of it, right?
Yeah, it's similar to learning a different language.
Right.
The younger you are, the more apt you are to grab a hold of that other language and then become bilingual, or learn 3 or 4 different languages when you're a kid, as opposed to putting that off, not being around it your entire life. And then you're now 25 going, I want to learn Japanese, or I want to learn Russian. Right. It's not going to come easy at all, because you're not familiar with it. You don't understand. You haven't been exposed to it.
Yeah. But the problem that I'm finding with it is that because you're 25 and you're going to say, well, I'm not going to learn Russian because it would take me longer to learn it now than it did when I was younger.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you missed the boat. It just means exactly that. It's going to take you a little bit longer. If you want to do it, suck it up and do it, right? It doesn't matter how long it's going to take you, because then at the end of the day, once you've fully learned it and you're fluent in it, you're now bilingual.
Yeah.
Did it matter how long it took?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's not easy.
Right.
It's not going to come easy. But the earlier we can show other people, the earlier that we can start focusing, even if it takes us another 25 years to be patient, the little kid that was just born into this world, if he's 2 or 3 and then he understands it at that age, we did justice. Because now we're helping the younger generation to come not have to go through all of the anger and frustration that we've spent the little bit of our life that we've been alive and getting frustrated at Chipotle. Anyway, patience is one of the most important keys to success, and that's something that we all want to hear and want to listen to when we mention it on this podcast. Because that is honestly why we're all here, right? That's why you guys are listening. You're trying to better yourselves. You're trying to form yourself into this person that can achieve greatness and success. And to do so, you need patience. It puts us in direct control of ourselves, and there is no more powerful an aid to success than self-possession. If you can control yourself, you can control everything in your path, because you're able to really contain anger. You're really able to contain the patience. You're able to give help. You're able to give energy, support, whatever it is. If you can contain, if you can self-possess, there's nothing better you can do for yourself in order to be on the right track for success. When we are patient, we give ourselves time to choose how to respond to a given event rather than getting emotionally hijacked by our emotions. So, pop culture here. Instead of acting like everyone else in Squid Game, we'll be able to patiently get through each challenge and keep our heads on our shoulders while doing so, instead of getting yaffled by a big ceramic doll.
It's very true. And, it's great because this kind of, I guess, goes along with the whole Squid Game reference here, right?
I'm thinking red light, green light.
I can be a cool kid too, right? I watch all these pop culture things as, old as I may be. One of the parts of that definition that really stuck out to me that leads towards that success, just kind of echo back on that for a second, is how you can gracefully approach, because they mention in the definition itself, is the how gracefully you can approach suffering. And I think that that's one of the bigger hidden ones when it comes to patience. Yeah. Because patience doesn't necessarily, the most common examples, the golden examples all the time is waiting for the good things to come, right? I mean, it's in the quote at the very top.
I mean, yeah, that was how I entered
literally the intro. But that hidden element there of being able to gracefully handle suffering. Yeah. Because when you're going through situations that are uncomfortable, things that you don't like, you're in a position in your life that you're not happy with, you need to be able to handle it gracefully. Because if you're just going to be angry at yourself, angry at the world, angry at specifically the people hurting you even, I guarantee you are going to make an irrational decision to escape that suffering. Whereas when you have patience and you go through suffering, you will find the better way to escape it, the right way to escape it, without trying to hop off of that train immediately and then falling even further down into a pit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a hidden element that would be worth just mentioning, just throwing out there.
Then I'll reiterate. There is no more a powerful an aid to success than self-possession. When we are patient, we give ourselves time to choose how to respond to a given event rather than getting emotionally hijacked by our emotions. Suffering, sadness, seeing our friends getting yeeted across the room by a sniper. We can calmly contain that, control ourselves, and then move when this lady says green light.
I mean, I was going to yeet my TV screen when the one person gave the Indian dude the bag of rocks.
Oh, dude, you didn't see that coming though, right? I did.
And I didn't want to believe it. Mm-hmm. And then when it happened and then they shot the dude, Spoiler. Can't tell you, it's not a spoiler anymore. How many people they say watch it? More than half of the world's population has seen that dang show.
My dad hasn't watched it.
Okay, well, an Indian dude gets shot, okay?
The only one. Anyway.
But yeah, there was more anger that I felt than sadness in that moment. Yeah. Just so bad.
Which is great because you really don't get empathy out of Justin. And brings me on to my next point. You want to learn to be more empathetic, I'd recommend you do. Justin, not only will it will it help you? Not only will it help you in networking, but it will help you just to have better relationships with those you choose to keep close to you. You cannot make the world and everyone else's lives revolve around you. Even if you do hit the lottery or come into some quick success, those people will leave if they see you only live for yourself. How many people do you think hit the lottery, gain all these friends, you're only focusing on you and none of the people that are around you or the people that were there when you were broke and now lost all their money, lost all their friends, they're miserable. But in order to become more empathetic, you must first have patience. You need patience to sit with them. You need patience to talk to them. And you need patience to get to know them. To put all of your problems aside and your needs, worries, whatever it is, put it aside for a while and just build a relationship with those you keep around. Patience involves empathetically assuming some personal discomfort to alleviate the suffering of those around us. It was written by Deborah R. Comer and Leslie E. Sakurka in their 2014 study on patience.
So, hot take on that. I like it. But with the patience, and as you mentioned about my empathy or my lack thereof of being empathetic, right? There is, you can still have patience without having the empathy towards others. Although it is much easier, I'm sure, because I don't know about that type of experience. But maybe this helps with some other people out there. But with like my form of patience that I have with others, comes from a place of it's not really
hate.
Yeah, a little bit. It does come from there. It's kind of like being patient with people because they're dumb.
Yeah. Okay. Mutual respect.
It's kind of like, yeah. So, it's like when a toddler is trying to make their first bowl of cereal. Yeah. It's not that hard to miss the bowl of cereal, but they're going to miss it. And they're going to pour way more milk all over the floor than what you would put in a bowl of cereal. And then whenever adults are having these types of issues in their lives, I kind of just look at them and go, yeah, and I move on. So I don't know, but that's literally how I think all the time when it comes to patience, to be honest with you.
No, it's great. I liked seeing you struggle there for a bit. It brought me a little bit of joy because that's not the point I was trying to say. It wasn't being patient. It wasn't having empathy help you have patience. It was in order to become empathetic, you need to have patience.
Oh, so you're saying I still have hope?
I mean, I'm saying if you have patience, you should use that to try to be more empathetic.
Well, I need to talk to you more after the show.
Anyway, so let me wrap this up for everybody because this is something that you haven't mentioned in a while and you seem to be the one always bringing it up. But patience and delayed gratification also go hand in hand. What's delayed gratification? Let's see. If you want to invest in stonks, well, I'm telling you right now, unless you have $20,000 in the bank or some offshore bank account, you're not going to be day trading. Am I right?
Right.
Yeah. And if you're not day trading, you either have swing trading or long-term investing. Two options. And if you pick the latter, then sorry, my friend, but you need to have patience. And you need to learn to hold the line, my fellow apes. Anyways, point being, delayed gratification only works if you're able to avoid the immediate rewards in order to get the bigger and better rewards with time, which is the definition of long-term investing. Stonks.
Well, I really like that. I mean, it's great because, like you said, patience here, we've covered every topic in the world, from the emotional state of it to the financial state of it to how it's going to help you be more successful in life. And it's great. And I think one thing that I would like to mention, everybody, here's a little head start for you guys. We here at the show appreciate your patience dealing with our very interesting schedule here.
Yeah, getting off the topics and stuff.
So, well, in the sense that, every Monday and Wednesday we have a video for you guys, and then, we have all these other platforms and we're using all these other things, and there may or may not be a
change to the routine.
Yeah, like an abundance of content, and then some weeks the well runs dry. So we appreciate the patience with that, and I do want to let everybody know, starting on November 1st, we are going to be relaunching the Motivating Force, and by that, we are still going to be bringing you guys some really good content. We're just going to be utilizing it the proper way. Finally, it's been over a year. So for all of you who have been with us so far, we really appreciate the patience. We're expecting some really great growth out of this. We're going to be bringing you guys more content on all the platforms. That's why we've been pushing Anchor. We're going to talk to you guys more about it on Sunday. So be sure to look out for that video. It's going to be uploaded on YouTube. It's going to be on Facebook. And then I think the Instagram is just going to link over to it because on Instagram you can't post something that long. So on Sunday, be on the lookout. We're going to give you guys all the details over there. Again, all those platforms, all those social medias, they're all in the link down below. And I believe we have finished up the last time saying that on Mondays and Wednesdays we upload at 8 a.m. So be sure to check out that Sunday video to see what the hell is going on. But until next time, go on and get.